And so if I talk into this, I can hear myself here.
And you can hear me.
Try again.
You can hear me.
Yes, I can, but
Perfect.
I'm not hearing you on mine.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, that's what I'm wanting.
Perfect.
Or at least if I am, it is so subtle that it is nothing.
Yeah.
Since we are already recording, thought I'd introduce myself. I'm Sean.
Béla.
Béla?
Béla. It's an Hungarian name, actually, but just because my mom liked it.
Oh,
so,
right. Yeah.
No.
Mine's an Irish name, so same thing. Mum liked it. Does it have a meaning?
In fact, I don't know if there's an actual Hungarian meaning to it, but like in the Slavic languages, it often translates to white.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Belarus. In German, it's translated to Weißrussland, which, if you would translate it like word for word, means like White Russia. And I think I've seen like a video once. It's not the information I give you now is not like confirmed. Okay, I'd say so much, but as I remember, and if I remember correctly, it doesn't. The Belarus, the Béla part means white, but the Rus part doesn't refer to Russia itself, but like a region there that was like just called Rus.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is the origin, and so Béla kind of translates to white, but it's not.
It's funny on those little parts that are like and well, my name's supposedly meant to be John in Irish.
Oh.
Yes. I haven't really had anyone confirm that. I'm curious when I go to Ireland to actually see if this is true or not. But also, my mum got me a mug that apparently it's meant to mean gracious.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, but how much are they just trying to sell this shit? You know, like the star sign sort of thing, like a Scorpio, you could have this for the month or something. Yes.
Definitely, yeah.
Well, may I ask, what do you do back home in Austria?
I'm mostly studying.
Oh, okay. What are you studying?
Political science.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Hoping to be a politician one day?
No. And I can guarantee you 99% of political science students don't want to go into politics, but just study politics.
Why? Okay, I'm curious because I wanted to, when I was younger, go into politics. Always wanted to try and, change the world sort of thing. But realized that through politics, you can't. The best way to actually change, or from my view, your society is the people. Everyone you talk to, they're the ones that make the biggest change slower. Whereas politicians, they try and make it out like, oh yes, you elect us, we'll make all these big things. And it's like 90% of the time you don't follow through with it. Yeah. So why do you feel you want to study it, but you don't want to go into it?
Because it's like so interesting to me how powerful each mechanism kind of is. Did it start or?
I have no idea. Is it on camera? Well, to be honest, this has happened to me every time. I think it just took 30 photos all at once. Alright, I know another way around that for myself.
Yeah.
But that is just a minor thing that doesn't have to be focused on.
Yeah,
but okay, so you love
the mechanisms behind them. Right. Because there's like so much, everything is like shaped by politics. And each aspect of everyone's daily life is like dependent on what politics, everything. So, I mean, political science is like a huge field, or more a huge, it consists of many fields, so to say.
Yes.
So, just saying you do political science is like something, but it doesn't actually say or hints to what topic actually, because there are so many. And So, for example, you have ideologies, political theory, study, and something like that.
I'm just going to turn it off.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so you go into like the ideological parts of politics, like parties, how they're formed, by what ideas, where those ideas come from, sort of this kind of thing.
Yep.
Other examples would be institutions. What institutions are there? How are they different in each country? How do they work? How do they function in theory and in practice? So there's sometimes a huge difference in what powers an institution, even if the institution is like the president as himself, the institution of the presidency.
Yep.
What powers he has and what powers he like actually uses and how he does it.
Yep.
So it's like all those things, policy analysis, how the policies are shaped, how they are written, all of that. Then you can study Latin American or South American politics. You can focus like on areas.
So you can even do global politics, where you understand.
It would be international politics.
Yep.
So there's like how states interact with each other, treaties, international law is a big part of that as a like intersectional field. Yeah, kind of this. This is like for people going into politics, this probably is one of the most desired parts about studying political science, because it's like international relations is not far that off from there. So yeah, that's kind of a thing. If you want to be a diplomat, international relations is your thing to do. So
that makes more sense, but also if you're not wanting to do that, it's good to know what's actually going on in the functions of the rest of the world and how it's going to affect you.
And that's basically what political scientists try to figure out and study, actually.
Okay. So, then what sort of job avenues are you looking for with that sort of a background, though?
That depends really heavily on what field you are. So, like, there are people studying political science because they want to go to work for the EU, the European Union. It's hard to get there because like many people apply to work for the European Union and really only a few get selected.
Okay.
But if you like want to go there, of course you need to know how everything works there, and it's really complicated.
That's true.
There
You've got so
many institutions. So many different things. Every institution is has sections, everything.
So intricate and so many smaller moving parts that then you need to understand.
Definitely.
Yep. Yeah, see, that's what I find fascinating when, we look when it sees as the EU from more of an outside perspective back home. Like, unless you're studying this or more interested, you get generally just the EU has decided this, the European Union. But it's forgetting that, like, because over here I started seeing a lot more of, just countries like Portugal and Spain who are right next to each other. Yet you have such different views at the moment politically, and like France and everything. That then, you look at the prices of food and whatnot when it's trying to come across the border, and the different boundaries that are in place that.
Each European country is so different.
Yeah.
So different.
So then for you, because back home, if you wanted to get into politics, you just have to manage one place. It might be just different states, but we're still one people in the sense that like we've got.
But I think even for me personally, if it's about that, it's hard to like get around an European identity. That's also like a huge debate, and it's going on. Can there be a European identity, or is it too large, too many people to have like the same identity?
Yep.
But like, for example, in the US, you have 300 million people, more, even more, and all feel like American. But in Europe, since there are so many countries, there are so many smaller country-wise identities.
Yes.
But still, I think to be like, I'm from Vienna, and Vienna is very different from the rest of Austria.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because Vienna is such a large city for such a small country.
Yep.
For example, Berlin is the biggest German-speaking city.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Capital of Germany, of course.
Yeah. Yep.
But like, if Vienna would be in Germany, it would be the largest, the second largest German-speaking. It is in fact the second largest German-speaking city.
Right. So
Vienna, because Vienna has roughly 2 million people living there, and Austria only has like somewhere between 8 and 9, I think, 9 million people in the whole country, and 2 million of them are living in
Vienna. So okay, because I know that Germany and Austria, they are very similar in so many ways. I didn't think though in the language of being like, because don't you also have Austrian, or do you?
There is Austrian, and people from Germany will exactly know that you're from Austria if you're speaking German, but it's the other way around as well. If Austrians hear German speaking German, they know they're from Germany.
It's the accent.
Yeah.
It's the okay.
Yeah. I would even say like somewhere around where you live, like in Bavaria.
That's it, Bavaria, thank you.
Bavaria is like really, it's more similar to Austria in some parts than like northern Germany, because they're so much closer, and people having a Bavarian accent or dialect, the dialect is much more similar to the Austrian dialect in those areas, like in Salzburg, Tyrol, and somewhere like that, than the northern Germany dialect.
Well, I did. We went up. I actually got very lucky that the family I was staying with, the husband, he worked with the mountain rescue, so it meant that they actually had free access to one of the huts up on the mountain, which, to me, I grew up watching The Sound of Music, stuff like that, which has Austrian culture incorporated in.
Yeah.
Always wanted to experience that, and I was so happy that I got to, because to me, when you look at it from a tourist point of view, if you wanted to pay for that, it's like, you're probably looking at about 200 euros or something to go up the mountain, have food there, dinner, sleep.
Yeah.
I got that for free, and I think I spent €6 on beers that they already had stored up in the hut. But she was pointing out, because you just said the town, but I bloody forgot it, of the region. It begins with the S. Salzburg, yeah, because that's what the closest one was to us. That Servus is hello in that region. Is that for all of Austria as well, or
you will understand it definitely in all of Austria. In some, but it's common in all of Austria, like Servus.
Servus, because then she was saying like you can tell which ones are Northern Germans because they say hello.
Yeah, hello or moin.
Moin.
Which means like morning.
Ah, okay.
It's a shorter version of morgen, moin, with the dialect, meaning morning.
Right. Oh, okay, see, this is what I love about this, is now I can sort of maybe even go back on it and try and get, because that's what I'm currently learning Japanese to go work over there, but I struggle with languages. That always try though to learn a little bit of the place that I'm living in, because if you at least know how to say hello, thank you, and if anything, how is your day, everyone's so much more welcoming and more happy to help. But so I'm also a little bit jealous on you guys have your own language and yet you learn English. Like, to me, you speak this very well. Like, I can understand you so clearly with English, like, but in Australia, unless you come from another cultural background and more recently, really anyone will speak another language.
I think it's the great thing, but also like the tricky part is like that the whole world understands German. German, not
English.
but English.
Yep.
And it's not that hard to learn. So
really, because I get told it's one of the hardest freaking languages.
English.
But then people are like, nah, man. If you look at German or Spanish, you've got genders for freaking things. You look at Mandarin,
German is brutal.
Is it? Okay.
I mean, I think the hardest languages to learn, European languages, would be Hungarian and Finnish.
Okay.
Because they're kind of on their own. Like Spanish, Italian, they're like from one language family.
Yes, yeah.
Also, I don't know the facts on that, but just like, of course, German, Danish is kind of has many words from German, but they pronounce it differently.
Yes.
Same with Dutch.
Okay.
Dutch people are not having the hardest time understanding German, and it's the other way around. You can kind of figure it out.
Gotcha. Yeah, by just piecing some things.
The metrics sometimes just work the same.
Yes. Yep.
But I don't know if how the languages there are.
Interesting.
In fact, but something like that. But like English is not that hard compared to that. Well, I'd say.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because from what I been told, this is the most current understanding with English is we know we have Latin, which Spanish, Portuguese, even Italian, but we also have Germanic parts because of it, and a little bit of Scandinavian with the Vikings coming over and stuff. That then maybe that's why for you guys here, at least in a way, it's a bit easier because it's like, well, actually, this is like, especially with the tones, because like I was dating or seeing a French woman for a little while and trying to get her to help me learn some French. I could not get the weird throat thing that they sometimes have to do with certain pronunciations. I'm like, my body just, I can't seem to pick. That's something I have to train a lot with. But then Spanish, I was able to pick up a fair bit, like the tongue rolling and stuff like that. It's like, okay, my body's a little bit used to that because we have some similarities to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas Japanese, I'm thinking I'm doing better with it because I watched a lot of anime growing up. So when you hear something, your body can replicate it better. Yes. Yeah.
And I think, but like, it's so difficult in what I can imagine, because like the letters are not the same, so they use different letters and characters.
Yes.
But there's something I wanted to say. No, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I broke your phone.
No, definitely not. No. But like, because when you look at how you learn languages, I think the most pivotal part would be to do it regularly.
Yes.
And you can do that with English so much easier, because you go on YouTube, you find big YouTube channels all in English. You can watch movies. The first translation for every movie will probably be English.
Yep. So
I learned Danish like when I was in high school, because I was like, I thought like Denmark was so cool, and I still do. Yep. But like I was so motivated that I started learning Danish a bit, and the pronunciation is hard, but you get around it. But like finding movies or TV shows or something like that to watch in Danish is much more harder.
Right.
Because I would suggest you choose your TV shows, movies, etc. Based on native speaking shows, because then if you just watch a translation, the mouth is not moving the same, so it doesn't make the same impact.
I was going to say, because your body's picking stuff up both visually and audibly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And when it doesn't match, it's harder to learn, because it's kind of confusing for your brain.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, there weren't not really kind of. It was even harder to find something translated in Danish, because Danish people are really centered and based on English, way more than Austria and Germany. So everyone there kind of speaks English, and sometimes even kids shows are
in English.
Just in English, not in Danish.
Right.
So it's harder to kind of find original native Danish movies, shows. Yeah, like the variety is just way smaller.
Yep. Okay, well, I'm curious because my friend said a good way is, especially cartoons, watch that dubbed in the language you're wanting, but something you've already watched and you know well in English. Because then, especially words that are constantly repeated that you're used to, you're going to be able to pick them up because you can go, well, I know what he says there, but that's how you say it in Spanish, or that's how you say it in this. And the mouths don't match anyway because
it's cartoons. So that's not a problem. Yeah, for sure. And probably cartoons are often used like easier language. So I think this would be better for learners or beginners anyway.
True.
So they kind of don't mumble, or it's more clear.
Yes, because they're already speaking straight into a microphone like this, instead of, because I noticed like a lot of traditional German stuff, because I can still access Netflix over here, my family's account, which I find funny because they're now making it like, if you're not in the same household, you got to pay for your own. I'm like, somehow this is not picking.
I think it's kind of, it has a time frame where you can still use it.
Well, it's been over 2 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and every different. So when I was in Spain, Portugal, France, Austria,
they all have the different.
They were all around that area. So when I was in that border with Austria and Germany, it was giving me like old 50s Germans movies and stuff, and I kind of just sat there and watched little previews of them, and I was noticing the much more modern ones. They're half speaking English. But then you watch those 50s German movies, no English. No. It was all, and it was like, oh my god, okay. And
it's also a whole different German than people, or not whole different, but it
slightly changed.
Yeah, they have changed, of course.
Well, because the family said that you guys have incorporated more and more English now.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. But still, German words that were used back then, there are more than a few that are not used anymore.
Right.
Like more older, but I think it's the same with every language.
Yes, well, that's like in English.
How people
describe something.
100 years ago.
It's very different.
Completely different.
Well, if you read, I don't know, have you ever been interested? Like, did you like Lord of the Rings or anything along those lines?
Yeah.
When I read Lord of the Rings, he's using the word faggot, which modern times means and you don't, gay's more acceptable in the gay community, but you wouldn't say faggot out in public anymore. He's referring to what it originally meant, which meant bundle of sticks. That is what a faggot originally was, and he would be saying that they gathered a faggot of wood to carry up the mountain.
Oh, that's so strange.
Yes, and like hearing it and reading it, you're like, I'm not real. I can see what they're getting at, but to me it sounds alien, very odd, because it's lost that original meaning. But that's where you can see of these older generations going, yes, we understand you guys don't like these words, but trying to force older groups that grown up with these words meaning something completely different, it's a hard shift. And we, as younger ones, it can be a struggle to try and see that if you don't open yourself up to it. But we have a lot of that in English that's completely different to what like in Australia we say cunt is a term of endearment, yet you do not want to go to America and say that word. They will death stare you. Like what that is blasphemous sort of thing. In England, UK, I understand it's kind of like it depends on the crowd. And I will say in Australia it's more the you can say the rougher parts in Australia. Like I like to use it in fun context, but I wouldn't be saying it at a family dinner, or not really that common sort of thing, unless we've had a few beers and it kind of just slips out. But you can have if you had sick in front of it, sick cunt, you are a legend, you're awesome. but that's an Australian meaning. Like, you can't go anywhere else and get that, or from that term, you would just immediately still see it as an insult, sort of thing. And it's funny how in some cultures the words can change, because in America it's tomato, in Australia it's tomato, because we get from the English, and you probably would so too.
Same with potato.
But no, that's actually bullshit. Okay. So that's just an old it's not an acronym. Like, it's sort of like those old little sayings of like potato, sort of thing, but it's no one says potato. It was never potato. But it was a piss take on tomato.
But there are many different.
There are. Oh god, yes, there are. Well,
so many.
Even the fact. So do you know what a cantaloupe is? You probably have it here, but I don't know what you guys call it. It's like a melon that's orange on the inside.
Oh yeah. Of course.
What do you call that?
I think it's Honigmelone.
Honigmelone.
In German, I think if it's the same what you're describing, which translates to honey melon.
Oh, okay.
Because it's I'm not a fan of melons at all in general, so I don't know exactly how I can remember it so good, but like I think they're much sweeter.
Yes, they definitely are.
And something like that, and somewhere.
Okay.
Something like that.
So that translates to honey melon for you, right? Because the orange one for us is a rock melon, and in America it's called a cantaloupe, which to me I actually thought was a variety of deer or something when I was hearing that for the first time. But then we actually have another one that similar on the outside but green on the inside, and that's honeydew melon. So I actually do wonder on which one because you're saying you're not a big fan of it, it's hard to probably tell. But even stuff like that, or...
I sometimes struggle, because I used the word even earlier, and every time I use the word, I'm unsure on how to pronounce it. It's root or route. And I don't even know which one is like the proper British
and which one's the
thing, and what's the American way to say it. Okay. I think route is the... No, I don't know.
Guess. I'm curious. Yeah, go for it. Go for what you feel.
The feeling says route is the British one, and route, but
I'm not too sure on that myself, because in Australia we say route.
Route.
Yeah, like I'm going to take that route, sort of thing. But we also say route in the same of I just had a route, which means sex or something like or that plant's got a root, which is the root system of the plant. Okay. So it's sort of the same in the way that from foreign ear, you have said the exact same word. It has 3 completely different meanings.
Context is everything.
Yeah. Whereas I think route is, I definitely heard it in American, but I think it is English as well. Okay. It's one of those ones that America's kind of like, we kept that from England and changed so many others, and Australia's kind of, because we've got Irish, Welsh, Scottish, and English sort of heritage mixing together for our English, that it's kind of all muddled up. That depending on who you're saying it to, I think they're still going to understand what you're meaning, because obviously you're meaning this route to Copenhagen. That's the route you're taking. Yes. See, I think more actually because my mum's English. I'm used to hearing that, but I also know people will say, like, I'm just taking the route down that road.
Yeah, because it's there is a German word meaning exactly the same, and it's Route. Route.
Right. Okay.
And I think it's even pronounced, but it's written like with an O and a U. So it's written the same way, I think. But it's called or pronounced Route.
Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of the same as route, route.
Route. Well, then that possibly could be where it came from, because of the similarities that we may have taken from the Germanic sort of part of things. It's funny hearing all these different. This is what I love about this.
You have so many different pronunciations or even different words for some things like zucchini. Do you call it zucchini?
Yes. Yeah, we call it zucchini. Why? Yeah. What else have you heard with that one? Because that's
no. That's there's isn't there a British version of that?
I think you're right on that. Yes. If you have a phone, check that out. I'm curious.
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm curious. If I'm speaking, is that coming through on this? Yeah. I'm hoping this at least comes through on this. I have no idea I'm used to doing with my big microphone setup, but I bought these as this. It's so much easier. I don't have to Courgette. Yes. Definitely. Yeah, I always found that to be an odd one too, because I was like, okay, that to me sounds like something you would wear, like a corset, and courgette being like a different form, like
definitely,
yeah, because like back home, I know women call things like blouse. Blouse is a shirt, essentially, but a female version, and to me, I always thought that was a very old formal way.
Then we have the same in German. We have Bluse.
Bluse, right?
Which is blouse.
Ah, okay.
Initially, yeah.
All right, I'm curious. Are you from the Austrian part where you guys have the whole get-up thing? So where I was staying in their local town, the guys, the women are wearing those old dresses, and the dudes are wearing the shorts with the thing with the feather in it.
Dirndl and Lederhosen.
Yes. Yeah.
No. This is like the biggest cliche, I'd say. From I mean, it is a common tradition.
I notice in smaller towns though, like more small
but like
communities.
The least part you will see that in Austria is Vienna, probably, because it's like the city.
Yes,
it's not like the land side.
Yep.
And it's more common on the land side of Austria.
That's what they were sort of saying, because they even have like their own slight different dialect. Like it's still German, but slight different of an accent.
I have problems understanding people from Vorarlberg.
Ah, okay.
Because it's like, just for context, Vienna is like one of the most eastern parts of Austria, and Vorarlberg is on the border to Switzerland.
Ah, okay, yeah.
So their dialect is way different than other. It's way harder. So
like
not like in the pronunciation, no, but like it's more like Swiss German.
Oh.
It has sometimes similar pronunciation, so it's definitely harder for me to understand, because it's way more.
That's what it's done. Yeah. It's
because it's way. It's so different to like a Viennese dialect.
Okay.
The Viennese dialect is definitely there, but it's like softer in a way that it's not like you have some words, you have some pronunciations, but it's more similar to the original Hochdeutsch, the clean paper German, I'd say. And the pronunciation and usage of words in Vorarlberg is even more different.
Right. Wow.
So,
and that's, see, if you look at like Australia, Austria would fit into, I think it might be around the same size as Victoria, if not a little bit smaller.
Austria is like, but I think do you know how many square kilometers?
Oof.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm just going by what you see on a map, and the same size map, but it's a hard comparison, because I know that England, like the United Kingdom, can fit in my state like 10 times, sort of thing, by distance. Well, that's the old saying, sort of thing. And England itself, not including Scotland and all that, can fit in Victoria, one of our smallest states, like 10 times as well. But the difference, like whereas in Australia, it's you go from one side to the other, you won't really be hearing that much of a difference. Whereas for you guys, it can still be so massive.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, they were saying that apparently a 10-minute drive is far for you. Or, like, to go an hour is kind of like, yeah, this would be more of a day sort of thing. Like, if you have to drive for about an hour, you kind of want to make it a day trip.
Yeah, I think it depends on, like, when you go from... Because when you go by car, an hour is like... Yeah, you plan on being there mostly for the day. Yeah. Another thing is the public transport, because it can definitely occur that you will have an hour of like travel time one way, even though staying in Vienna all the time, because sometimes you have to take the bus to get to the subway or the metro, and then you go out or change to a different metro line, and then you have to take the bus again, because it's like from one outer part of Vienna to another. So it can definitely take up to an hour or even more, even though you're staying inside of Vienna. So it can be shitty. But like, if you say, you're going from Vienna to like another federal state, and you take the car, it's an hour and a half drive. You plan on being there at least for the whole day, probably, because it's more of a thing.
Okay, right.
Well, you won't see people unless it's like for business reasons or something like that. That will take an hour-long drive or hour and a half just to stay there for like 1 or 2 hours and then go back. They plan on being there then the day trip, something like that, because they're not used to having such long distances.
Yeah, see, and that's very different in Australia. Like, to a degree in certain parts, but most people would travel easily an hour for work as like a minimum.
But I think there are people doing that.
Yep.
Especially when you like live not in Vienna exactly, but in a federal state that is around Vienna. Like you live on the countryside or the suburbs, so to say, and you work in Vienna. Then there are people going to Vienna to work and going back home.
Okay,
so for business reasons, I'd say people would definitely do that. But like if you plan on visiting something for a day trip for fun, you will plan on
doing multiple, like almost all, spending a decent chunk of time there.
Yeah, not just like that.
Okay.
It's too much time for that. So I don't know if you know Graz.
No.
It's in another federal state in Syria.
Yep.
And they're probably most famous for the pumpkin seed oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like the dark, thick oil.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I did find like we don't really have that back home. Or
yeah.
if it did, it's very
in
niche
Syria,
market.
because I was born there, but I moved to Vienna when I was 2.
Yep.
So basically grew up in Vienna, but half of my family, like grandparents and all of that, they still live there because my mom is from Graz.
Right.
And Graz is kind of the capital of the federal state of Styria.
Yep.
And it's a 2.5 hour ride by train, 2 to 2.5 hours when you go by car. And even saying, for a weekend trip, it's a long distance.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'd say so. Sometimes my grandparents visit us, and they come here, and when they have the time for that, they will always be one night at our place and then go back the next day, because it's just a long.
Okay.
Or in our perception, it's such a long drive that for just one day, they only do it if they really have to be back.
Okay, that's kind of fair. Yeah, see, I know especially in Adelaide, where I'm from, depends on the part you've grown up in. Like, you grow up more in the inner city, yeah, you probably think it's a fair decent drive to go up to a place called Mount Barker, which is about 40 minutes. Oh, my washing's actually going to be done. Then I'm going to have to cut this short. I hate this. I'm enjoying it too much.
But I will then go to the toilet as well, so it will be fine, yeah.
But it's sort of, I would say, 50-50 in the way that some people would probably find that to be a long drive, whereas for me, Jesus, people are...
Sometimes there's a wedding and people do that here.
Ah, okay, right, because I got told that, very uncommon for at least Germans and stuff to order.
It is, but it's more of a Slavic kind of thing.
Yep.
Because they're... depends on, I don't know how it's in Sweden, but in Germany and Austria we have big Slavic communities from different, like Serbia, Slovenia, everything. And there, like, a wedding is way bigger and it's more celebrated.
Yeah.
So, and also like in Turkey.
It's a big thing. So it's more the cultural part.
And if people with like a background party or have the wedding because they live there, of course, and all of that, but if they have like their family here, it's more of a thing that they really celebrate it, and sometimes they have like all are in their cars, like 10-15 cars behind each other. Jeez. And they will all honk. Yeah, to celebrate.
God, I can imagine that pisses off some locals though sometimes.
It's not that bad.
It's not happening all the time, I guess. So a lot of people probably.
It's not that big of a deal, but like all older people in Austria will be like, they will complain and stuff. It's not that
bad.
Okay,
yeah, because I've noticed because like back home. Oh yeah, just to let people know, that was because we heard a lot of honking outside. Yeah. But back home, it's sort of most of the time, people are honking because they're like someone just didn't take off 2 seconds faster than they wanted them to.
Oh no, this is definitely a thing here as well.
Really?
But it depends on the place. Because in Austria, it's forbidden to honk on paper. If it's not an emergency.
Oh, that's the same back in Australia. Yeah, it's.
I mean, in Vienna, not everywhere in Austria, but in Vienna. So Vienna is a honk-free zone, you'd say, and of course people do honk, but not like I visited New York 2 weeks ago with my girlfriend.
Oh yes, yeah.
And their honking is just daily basis.
And they're slamming
always
on, yes.
But it's the meaning is so different because in Austria. You honk when you're angry that someone is not moving, and there it's just like a signal kind of thing. They just honk to be like, oh, watch out.
Ah, okay.
It's not
I didn't think on that.
The meaning is not that. It's sometimes not that angry.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Where it can sometimes seem that in a way because
definitely probably there are a lot of people honking angrily.
Out of frustration.
But like it's more common to just honk
to let people know about. Yeah. Because back home. A single meep is sort of like, oh, okay, thank you. I might have been daydreaming. Yep. But if they hold it for like that, that is an angry person. That is someone that is just like, I'm letting out my frustration at you, which to me, most of the time, I'm like, what's that doing? Like, now they're probably going to go slower. Like, I always found when you're pissed off that this person isn't going fast enough or something.
Road rage.
Yes.
Always the road rage. Yeah.
Where when I was driving, we were heading, he was going to drop me off at the train stop on the last day. This BMW literally almost cut him off. Like, I was like, we're going at 80 Ks right now on this road, and they've just completely pulled out in front. Like, they saw you coming and still just slowly went, and then went 20 Ks slower. He never honked. And I was kind of like, to me, I would have let them, like, that is a common thing to be like, hey man, what did you just do there? You didn't realize how dangerous that was. But he's like, no, it's fair, we wouldn't really do that here. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. But it does seem to be the smaller communities, maybe it's a little, like in the smaller townships, they've got their own sort of codes or something. Yeah. Well, I'll finish off real quick on what I was saying on, back home, does seem like, because I got used to, if I was going to go even just pick up a video game from just someone like on eBay, or we have Facebook Marketplace we use a lot more. hour and a half, standard. Yeah, I'll just go, leave at 8 o'clock in the morning, get home by about 11. That's fine. I wouldn't even bat an eye at that. So it would be a little bit like...
Such a long time for just to pick up in our perception.
Really?
Probably,
yeah. Yeah, okay. Probably, yeah, because for me, especially now with younger generations, because Adelaide's a growing city, we do have a lot newer homes being built, but they're always further out. So it's very common, like a lot of my good friends are literally on either sides, and they're probably roughly about an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Wow.
So it's like, we'll try and meet up in the middle, but that's more commonplace now.
2 hours apart is like far.
Yes.
From in
well, to us it's sort of like, it's a decent distance, but it's what we expect now, I think maybe, is why we don't view it so much as being,
because everything is like
so
that
much
far
further.
apart,
Well, just for me when I was growing up, where we lived in the hills, to go to the local supermarket would be about 10-minute drive sort of thing. Whereas here it's kind of like, no, we expect to be able to just get to the supermarket driving in like 2-3 minutes. But it's funny seeing that difference. I will say thank you because you do look like you need to go to the toilet real bad.
Oh, it's okay,
this has been a pleasure. You've done well. You've done very well, and thank you so much for this. This is, to me, is mainly just a memory that I can't wait to look back on. I do hope that these have worked and that you're not picking too much of my voice up, or at least I can edit it so that the people wanting to listen can actually gain it without